My number is 12.
My number is 4.
My number is 800.
My number is 40.
My number is 88.
My number is 9.
My number is 2.
My number is 1.
12 is the number of years since my dad passed away from diabetes.
800 is significant to me because that's the number I was diagnosed with when I learned I was diabetic.
The number 40 is the number of carbs I try to keep with at my meals. If I eat more than 40 carbs, I have to take more insulin and it might cause my blood sugar to go up high.
I was diagnosed with diabetes when I was 4 years old, and I had to be hospitalized 4 times because of my diabetes. I usually have to take 4 shots a day.
I would say my number is 2 because definitely at that age it was really hard to adjust to diabetes. That's when I knew my life was going to change and somehow I had to adapt to diabetes for the rest of my life.
In 2009, I was diagnosed with a benign tumor on my pancreas, which led me to have half of a pancreas and put me at a higher risk for type 1 diabetes. It was very challenging emotionally, and what I came across was that I have to do something to prevent this.
The number 88 because that's how long I expect to live. Even with the challenges of diabetes, that's my goal, and I'm going to do everything I can possible to get to my goal of being 88.
1 is important to me because 1 equals my son. My son is important to me because I want to be here to see him continue to grow up. I was diagnosed at 37. I had just celebrated my 37th birthday. I couldn't go to work one day. I was so tired and out of it. My mind just wasn't making any sense. I went to urgent care because I knew something wasn't right. My mother-in-law had to drive me there. I couldn't speak at all. I was sweating, and they took one look at me and said I needed to go to the emergency room. The emergency room doctor came in and said that I was diabetic, I was DKA, and they were going to do everything they could to save my kidneys. I was in the ICU for 3 days, and they send you home with your test kit and your insulin, and there you go. Being a type 1 diabetic has impacted my son in a lot of ways already. He knows how to dial 911, and he knows how to tell them that I'm a type 1 diabetic and my mama won't wake up. That can be impactful, trying to teach a 5-year-old how to make that phone call. It's also impacted him by the way he eats. Even if he is eating ice cream, which like a normal 6-year-old would want to do, he'll have 3 bites and then say he has to stop because he doesn't want to get diabetes. And that's every day at my house. The American Diabetes Association has been extremely helpful with everything, just giving me the right resources, giving me the right information. I don't know what would happen to me without the American Diabetes Association.
In this day and age, I think an awful lot about my wife and my family. And it hurts a lot. It hurts a lot. This disease can kill you if you don't manage it carefully. I do my best to manage it carefully each day, but sometimes I fail, sometimes I triumph. I'm very thankful for the American Diabetes Association. I'm very thankful for the invention of insulin. I'm very thankful for finger prick blood testing. Because if I hadn't gone through all of that, I wouldn't be here today. And without insulin, I wouldn't be alive.
My dad was diagnosed with diabetes when I was 10 years old. With diabetes, he ended up losing his eyesight, and he never gained it back. So for the 12 years that he was diagnosed, he was never able to see us or what we look like. And it also affected his feet because they had to amputate all his toes on the right side. So we dealt with a lot of stuff that really impacted the family, but we remained very strong because of it too. But I never saw him as a man who couldn't see because he always was the father for us. And I never felt like I lost a father figure or I didn't have a father. And his strength, I think, is what overcame having to battle with diabetes and blindness, which is something I've definitely learned. It's not easy to do, but he showed us that it's possible to do.
Some of the hardest things for my diabetes is I can't walk barefoot because all it takes is one step, one infection, amputate it off. If we find a cure, I can go play outside barefoot, and I can not have shots because everybody's around me. It would just be better.
Thinking of a world without diabetes. It's a world where kids are not worried about being type 1 diabetes. They don't have to worry about injecting insulin. It's about people being able to do whatever they want. They can be active and just happy and enjoy life.
I would say a world free from diabetes would be, healthy living, people living to their fullest, not being held back by illness, young children, juvenile diabetics, getting through life better and easier. I would say those are some pretty good visions for the future with diabetes.
With ongoing research and education on awareness and diabetes, we will be able to end this epidemic.
I hope that someday I'll be able to live a life free of diabetes, but just in case, I want to become a biomedical engineer so that I could help find the cure.
Diabetes healthcare costs $245 billion each year.
Over 18,000 kids are diagnosed with diabetes each year.
Diabetes kills 10 times more Americans per year than AIDS and breast cancer combined.
Nearly 30 million children and adults in the U.S. have diabetes.
If present trends continue, by the year 2050, 1 in 3 American adults will have diabetes.
1 out of 4 Americans do not know they have diabetes.
Diabetes causes nearly 73,000 amputations every year.
Please.
Please.
Please help us.
Help us find a cure.
Help us find a cure.
Please help us find a cure.
Share your number. Help us raise awareness, hope, and vital funding. Help us find a cure. Help us stop diabetes.